Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a brand new pick a card reading for you guys today. And today we are asking the question, what is coming up for you in regards to love? So it doesn't matter whether you're in a relationship, whether you're single, in a situationship, you have a person of interest, you're in a twin flame dynamic. Whatever your status may be, all are welcome. This is open for all as it is a collective reading. And we're going to dive in and basically see what you guys need to know, see what's coming up, see what the future holds for you coming up in regarding love. And we have 4 beautiful piles here to choose from. Before I dive in and introduce our piles, though, I want to ask you guys really quickly to go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up because it helps me out a lot right here on the YouTube algorithm. Also, I invite you to go ahead and subscribe at this time and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time a brand new reading is posted, every time I go live, which I am working on going live more often. So it's definitely worth subscribing and hitting the notification bell, if anything, just for that alone are the live readings, because that's pretty much the best way to know when I am live. But you'll basically get any and all updates that you need to by doing that. And also, don't be shy, you guys. Feel free to say hi. Drop me a comment down below in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And if I really wind up resonating with you as a reader, I also invite you to head on over to my website, shadowandshine.com. Over there, you can find a whole bunch of readings, personal readings, because, you know, the readings that I do on lives and everything, you can get some insight, obviously, but they're kind of previews, I guess you could say. They're kind of like snippets as to what you can really gain from a full-fledged, full-blown reading over on my website. So I invite you to go ahead and check that out. I also have my own oracle decks available for purchase as well over there. In fact, the oracle deck that I'm using today in today's reading is one of the decks that's over there. It is Love Story, which is a romance, a love-related oracle deck. So you can check this one out as well as others. I'm also in the process of working on a summer-themed oracle deck that I hope to have released hopefully by summer solstice. We'll see how things go with timing, but yeah, but either way, I plan on putting out a summer-themed oracle deck come this summertime. So it doesn't matter whether you are doing readings for yourself, whether you do readings for friends, or whether you have clients of your own that you do readings for. My oracle decks are pretty easy to understand and open for anyone who simply is interested in them, is what it comes down to. Finally, you guys, I want to invite you to join me over on Patreon. I absolutely love Patreon. It is such a cool community over there. So I have, you know, free memberships that are available. So, you know, if you're not really ready to make like a financial commitment in terms of being a Patreon that is a paying member, that's totally cool. That's totally okay. You can come and get your feet wet and kind of just see what it's all about by being a free member. And, you know, sometimes that's feasible when you're financially going through difficulties as well. So that's definitely an option. But there are also the paying tier levels as well, which I still feel like are all pretty reasonable. The lowest tier level is $1.11 per month. The one that I kind of recommend in general for anyone, if you are going to pay, is the $5.55 tier, simply because you get a daily card pull every single day sent to your inbox, as well as you get access to the Discord server. And the Discord server is really what I would call like the meat and potatoes in terms of community and connecting with other people. So if you are looking to make friends and to find your soul tribe and just people that you can connect to and relate to, Patreon, especially at that $5 a month level, is absolutely perfect for that. But there are, of course, other perks, like I said, daily card pulls, weekly card pulls, all kinds of fun stuff going on over there. So I definitely invite you to come and join me over on Patreon too. So that's kind of like all the updates and all the 411 as to what you need to know going on around here. Links to my website, shadowandshine.com, as well as my Patreon, and all of my other socials are down in the description box down below. So if you're lost, confused, trying to figure out where to find those things, that's where you're going to see them. Anyways, enough chit chat, enough of the introduction stuff. Let's get into our pile introductions now so you guys know what your options are and can choose, and we can dive into this pick a card reading. As always, you guys, you are welcome to pick as many piles as you want. So if only one stands out, that's totally cool. If more than one stands out to you, that's also awesome. There's no right or wrong way to do this, basically. So pile number 1, we have the pink opalite group. We have all hearts for today's pick a card reading because we are addressing the subject of love. So they are all heart-shaped. Pile number 2 is a little itty-bitty clear quartz heart. Pile number 3 is a little itty-bitty rose quartz heart. And pile number 4 is it's another heart. It's like a light lavender kind of color. It's an aura quartz of some sort. It might have a more specific name than just aura quartz, but there is definitely aura quartz in here. And it's really cool because it sparkles like all right in this carved area. So I don't know if you can see it all that well in this light, but yeah, it's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. So like I said, those are your pile options. You can choose by crystal, by pile number, just whatever kind of stands out to you, whatever resonates, whatever your intuition is leading you and guiding you towards, go towards that is the best recommendation I can give you. Anyways, let's dive in. Let's officially get started. And we're going to kick things off here with pile number 1, our pink opalite heart group. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the pink opalite heart, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what's coming up next for you in regards to love. All right. Super exciting. There's our little heart crystal just hanging out there with us. And as I said, we're going to be pulling cards here. Well, I've already pulled the cards, obviously. But we have cards coming to you from Love Story, which is one of my own oracle decks available for purchase over on shadowandshine.com. The entire theme of the deck is love and romance. It basically follows the journey of one couple on their romantic story is what it comes down to, which is why like a lot of the cards look like it's the same couple over and over again. Well, there's a reason for that. It basically is. So it's like you're supposed to see the reflection of your love story through their love story. So anyways, let's dive in. Let's see what you guys need to know. All right. So card number 1. I'm working on myself to better our future. So we have this guy here who is sitting in a therapy session. He's listening intently, probably to what his therapist is saying. So this is a great thing. I feel like this is something that potentially could be happening right now. if it's not happening already, I do feel like this will be happening in the near future. So, take it as it resonates. I feel like this is probably either you or your significant person. It could go either way because we weren't necessarily asking about your person per se, but we were asking just, in general, what's coming up for you in regards to love. So I feel like that this is either you or your person, maybe even both. It could be both of you for that matter. But either way, someone has made the decision to start working on themselves. Someone has made the decision to be just like, hey, you know what? Like living life the way I've been living it, doing the things that I've been doing, it's not cutting it. It's not working. Um, I need to change something within myself in order to start seeing changes in my external world, because that's true. Much of our internal world is very much a reflection of our external world. So I do feel like either you, your person, or both of you have definitely kind of come to an awakening of sorts to be just like, okay, this needs to happen. It's going to make everything better. There's going to be healing involved. It still takes work doing this, obviously. It's not always pretty. It can be rough. It can be difficult. It can still mean a lot of time and patience, but it's always worth it in the end. So we're definitely off to a positive start here. What else do we need to know? No one sees me the way you do. True vulnerability. So I feel like now we're getting into one of the results of that therapy, because that's true. When we go to therapy, when we're doing things to heal ourselves, we become more vulnerable. We take down those defenses. We take down all of the things, all of our internal armor that we're holding up to protect ourselves because we've been hurt so many times in the past. And yes, of course, there is always a time and a place for boundaries. That doesn't remove boundaries. You can still be vulnerable and have boundaries. But the point is that your boundaries are not so high that you're keeping everyone out around you, that it's just become a fortress of protection where it's an impenetrable wall is what it comes down to. There's openness, there's authenticity, there's transparency, there's vulnerability here. So that's a beautiful thing. That's good results. That's good results to therapy, self-work, self-care, healing. We want to see that. That's good stuff. Good stuff moving forward in the future. You've helped me's. You've helped me's. Me is more than one of me. You've helped me in ways you don't even know. So I feel like once again we're seeing results of that therapy, results of that work, results of that healing that is coming through. We have one person reaching out to the other person as they're like climbing up this hill, climbing up this mountain. It's teamwork is what it comes down to. It is teamwork. And I feel like through this healing process, through this time of therapy, you guys are truly coming together as a team. And because we have this card and this card about vulnerability, to me it says you guys are both doing the work. That it's not all just one person, because it would be pretty unbalanced if only one person was doing the work and the other person wasn't. That would still make it really hard to have a completely functional and healthy relationship. So I do feel like that this is work that the both of you are putting in together. Maybe you're doing it in different ways. Maybe you don't have to be going to therapy sessions together. It doesn't have to be like couples counseling or anything. You could have their therapist, they could have their therapist. But either way, the work is being done. And whatever it is that the two of you are putting in individually for yourselves, the results are showing when you come together as a couple. So that's great. These are wonderful forward movements. So if this hasn't been happening for you in the present tense, don't worry about it. Once again, The intention of this reading was to look forward into the future as to what's coming up. So if this isn't happening right now, it's coming. It's coming. So that's good. That's great. We love that. You make me feel safe. You are home to me. You guys, I love this pile. Like, I am so happy for you. Like, this pile just warms my heart because, you know, it shouldn't be such a struggle, and we shouldn't, have all this strife between one another in our most sacred of connections. So again, this just makes my heart sparkle for you guys. It makes me feel so happy for you guys. Chances are you've probably been on this road for a long time. And once again, when you have put in that work, when you've put in that effort, when you have done your healing, when you have faced your own demons and figured out how to deal with them and slay them and step into who you really are, and, have that internal healing and therapy and all that stuff going on, you get the vulnerability, you wind up helping each other out, and you feel safe with each other. It's only when we feel safe with someone, we feel the courage to be vulnerable. We're not going to be vulnerable with, for example, we're not going to be vulnerable with someone who's a total stranger, with someone we just met. No, like, they haven't, earned that trust. And we're also not going to be vulnerable with someone who has proved over and over again how they're not trustworthy and they've hurt us. We're vulnerable with the people who make us feel safe and protected, that we can truly go to. So once again, you guys are getting that. And it's beautiful. I love this. I love this. This is great. I only hope that the rest of the piles are like that. Don't know if they will be, but I can only hope. Long distance lover. Okay, so I feel like this may kind of give a little bit of background context dealing with your relationship. I feel like you guys either are long distance right now, maybe you have been in the past. I don't necessarily get the future vibe with this card. I feel like that this kind of has already been in play, if not already is in play. So this may just kind of give some context as to just the nature of your relationship with this person. And it doesn't mean that this person is like a whole, like half a globe away from you or something. They could be in another country. They could be clear across the country, but they don't have to be. It could be as long distance as, just maybe a couple of hours away. When I was living in LA, you could have two people who lived in Los Angeles, and if one of them lived on the east side and one of them lived on the west side, or let's say one of them lived in LA County and one of them lived in Orange County, yeah, it's all the same, like, metro area and everything, but that was basically long distance once you put in traffic, because of how insane the traffic is. So, take the long distance thing where it resonates, where it makes sense. I'm going to try and scooch these cards over a bit so we can squeeze in as many as we can. But yeah, I feel like that definitely gives context to just more about your relationship, just more about the nature of it. Okay, there. I just wanted to make sure you guys can see everything that's already out. What else do we need to know? My family loves you just as much as I do. So if you haven't met this person's family already, chances are you will be meeting their family in the future. We've got this family sitting here around a dinner table. They're just enjoying life together. And basically it's like, he's brought the girl home to meet his family, is what it comes down to. So they're all just like, sitting there enjoying, a wonderful dinner together. And, like I said, I feel like this means your person's family. Like I said, if you haven't met them already, you're going to meet them and they're going to love you. And once again, it's just such good vibes. I feel like I don't have as much to say when things are going this well, because it's not like you guys need a lot of guidance. You guys are kind of already doing the stuff you need to, which is great. Um, Feeling nostalgic. I miss the way we were. So this could be the catalyst here that gets your person motivated into going to therapy and doing the healing work. Especially if you guys have had a time of separation, if you guys haven't been together in a while, or if you have been in communication, there may have been just like a lot of arguing, a lot of fights and things like that going on. So I feel like with this card coming through, like I said, it's kind of like the catalyst. It's like this person reflects and they think back to, the good old days and the good times with you. And that nostalgia may kind of spur them to be just like, you know what? Like those are the days when I had so much joy and peace and love in my life. And I am so stupid for just like throwing that all away or doing whatever it is that I'm doing to be destructive to that right now. So if I want that back in my life, I need to start making some changes to make things better. So that could be, like I said, the catalyst that kind of gets them motivated to be like, all right, we got to do better here. Smothered. I need space. So I feel like we're kind of backtracking a little bit in time right now. This could be where you guys are at presently. This could be what's currently going on, where, they could be dealing with a little bit of avoidant attachment style, is what it comes down to. I don't feel like you're necessarily smothering them or anything like that. You're probably just being genuine and authentic with your love, and you're probably also loving them through the way that you know how in your terms of your own love language. And if they don't know how to receive that in a healthy way, they may just kind of pull back and run away, is what it comes down to. So I feel like this is more of like the present energy, kind of a little bit more on the backstory, I guess you could say, of like, oh, this is kind of where you've been. So they may have been feeling smothered, which is going to change, which, that's a good thing. It's going to change. We will carry our legacy. We'll carry on our legacy together and have a family. We got so much stuff about family here, you guys. We have, their family, like the family that they come from, loving you. This would probably be like their parents, siblings, grandparents, cousins, whatever, that kind of stuff. But, you guys are also going to have your own family as well. So it's like all this therapy, all this work you guys are doing, it's going to be worth it, because if you bring children into this world, you have babies of your own. No one wants to bring babies into a toxic environment. No one wants to bring babies into a hostile home. Babies should feel loved and safe. They should feel nurtured. And I feel like because you guys are going to be changing this all up, you guys are going to be working on things here and doing the work, doing the therapy, that you guys will be ready to like have a family together, which is beautiful. Whether that's birthing your own children or adopting or fostering, or however it is that this looks for you, whatever the meaning is of having a family is for you. Maybe it's not even human children. It could be dog children, that's cool too. So yeah, but I definitely feel like having a family, building a legacy together is definitely in the cards for you guys. Absolutely. Absolutely beautiful. So I feel like that actually answers something else here in regards to like the long distance thing. Like obviously it's not that it's impossible. I have heard of people who have literally been like married and still had long distance relationships, but I feel like those are more rare than common, obviously. But I do feel like at some point this long distance energy is going to change. Either you're going to move to them or they're going to move to you, something like that. So that way then you guys can start this family. You can create this family together and all, be in the same zip code and be under the same roof, kind of a thing. Finally, we have getting to know each other, too early to tell. Well, I definitely don't feel like it's too early to tell, but in regards to the getting to know each other card, I feel like this is kind of in reference to therapy again, because it's like once you have gone to therapy, once you've done the healing work, once you've done all this kind of stuff, you're no longer the same person that you were when you probably first got to know this person. And they're probably not going to be the same person that they were either. So, in a sense, when you two reunite, when you two come together after doing all of this work, it's going to be two completely brand new versions of yourselves come together. So while of course there will always be that familiarity there and that history of the past, it doesn't erase that or anything. There is going to be a new beginning. There is going to be newness. There is going to be freshness. And there are going to be new aspects of one another you're going to have to get to know. Especially if someone is bringing their authentic self to the table. And, let's say you each bring certain, boundaries to the relationship that you want to establish with each other that you never did before. Those are new things to get to know about one another. So yeah, I feel like in terms of too early to tell, I wouldn't worry about that, because obviously we have a lot of stuff saying here right now that this relationship is going up the hill. Basically, it's improving, it's getting healthier, it's getting better. I feel like both people in this scenario are very evolved, very much so awakening, doing the work, healing, transforming, and therefore making a life together that they're truly going to enjoy, that's going to involve children and all this other stuff. So yeah, but it is going to be a totally new thing. I feel like if anything, the aspects of the old you guys will carry into it are going to be the positive aspects from the old. So it's like when you think about when you first fell in love with this person, chances are you didn't fall in love with this person because of the arguments that you had or any of the toxic traits that they may have had that they've had to work on and shed. Chances are it was probably good things. Maybe it was because they really made you laugh. Maybe they have a wicked sense of humor. Maybe it was because they brought adventure into your life that nobody else did. And those are positive things. And that's why I'm saying I feel like the positive things aren't going to go away. The positive things will still be there. It's just there's going to be like this new layer of shedded negativity that's not going to be there, and a new layer of new positive things to discover on top of the positive things that were already there before. So anyways, that's basically the reading that I have for you guys. Absolutely beautiful energy here, beautiful couple. Congratulations to you guys, because I feel like this is just an awesome pile is what it comes down to. Like, I don't even know what the other three are like yet. But if there was any pile that I personally would want to pick, it would be this one, because, who doesn't want that? Like, that's wonderful. That's awesome. So anyways, yeah, that's what's coming up for you guys in regards to love. If the message did not fly, of course, or if it did not apply, let it fly. But if it did resonate, if it did make sense for you, let me know in the comments. Drop me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Also, once again, you guys, before I wrap this up, please give this video a big thumbs up, because it helps me out a lot right here on the YouTube algorithm. Also, subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way then you are up to date and in the know every time there is a brand new reading such as this, or anytime I'm live. anytime there's a brand new update on anything, like I said, you guys will be the first in the know. So yeah, I definitely invite you to do that. And if I really, really, really resonate with you as a reader, please head on over to shadowandshine.com. You can order your own personal reading there. You can also order this very oracle deck that I worked with here tonight for you guys on. Once again, this is a love story. So if you would like to take this home and make it a part of your collection, you can. It is available over on shadowandshine.com, as well as other oracle decks. And I would love to have you guys join me over on Patreon. Like I said, it is such a fun community. It's a great community. We have daily card pulls, weekly card pulls. There's the Discord server for community and connection with other people. It's just a fun place to be. It's just an awesome place. So yeah, I would love to have you guys over there as well if you feel inclined to do so. Anyways, yeah, that's basically all I have for you guys for today. I want to thank you for hanging out here with me for a little bit. I definitely appreciate your time and your participation here on YouTube. I am sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose the mini clear quartz heart, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what's coming up next for you in regards to love. All right, let's hope the good vibes continue here. Pile 1 was fabulous. That one just like blew my mind. But you know, let's hope this fabulousness continues here. All right, we're going to get started. And like I said, we're basically going to see what's coming up for you guys in love. I am using cards from my own oracle deck, Love Story. You can find this on shadowandshine.com in my shop. It is a love deck. It is all romance related. And oh my gosh, my jacket was like stuck on the glitter thing here. Okay, anyways, I got too much glitter going on everywhere here. As I was going to say though, yes, so Love Story basically follows the journey of one couple, which is why it looks like it's the same couple on like all of the cards pretty much, because it basically is. You're basically following their love story and seeing the reflection of your own love story through their love story. So that's kind of how it works. Anyways, so yeah, if you're interested in this, it's over there, shadowandshine.com. But let's see what you guys got. Let's see what's coming up for you in regards to love. Ooh, okay. We're kind of off to an ouchy start, but let's see where it goes. Ghosting you is easier than talking to you. So you might be dealing with someone who is a bit avoidant here. This could be something that's already presently happening. I'm not going to say it is 100%. It could be happening in the present, or it's something that's going to be happening. But let's keep going here. Let's dig a little bit deeper. Maybe we can get some answers as to why this person is ghosting you. Oh, ow. Oh, this is definitely more ouchy than pile number 1. Okay, pile 2. My heart goes out to you. This love isn't love. It's toxic. Okay, so if you do wind up connecting with somebody in the future and they start ghosting you, you know, they're like not even taking any accountability, basically. They're showing you your true color, not your true colors, their true colors, and the fact that they are probably not the best situation to be entertaining is what it comes down to. You know, when someone ghosts us, it says a lot more about them than it does us, because it's basically showing that this person is a coward, that they won't express how they really feel. They won't just, you know, acknowledge the fact that they're not interested or whatever it is. Like, it would make a lot more sense if this person, instead of just ignoring you and ghosting you, just said, hey, like, I'm really not feeling this anymore. I want to wish you the best, but I also wanted to, give you closure, is what it comes down to, like common human decency of closure. And if someone can't give you that, like I said, that says a lot more about them than it does you. So, if someone does wind up ghosting you in the future, I wouldn't dive too much deeper beyond that, is what it comes down to. I wouldn't hang on to hope. And I know that there are a lot of readers out there who blow smoke up people's asses, and a lot of the time they do that for views. They do it to get clients and all this other kind of stuff. I'm not going to do that, though. I can't sit here and tell you, oh yeah, this person is going to ghost you and it's toxic, but they're going to come back. Like, that makes no sense. And that's not helpful. That's actually hurtful. So I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you, if someone's ghosting you, they're showing you who they really are, they're toxic, it's best to leave that and move on. All right, so let's see what else is going on here. Maybe this situation has to play itself out and get out of the way, so that way then the window of opportunity can open up for better, healthier love to come in. So let's see what we got here. Jealous. I can't handle seeing you move on. So chances are you guys are probably going to follow my advice of what I just said, and you will move on, which is great. And that's wonderful. And you should, especially if someone else comes along and they're communicating with you, they're not ghosting you, they're being kind, they're being transparent, they're being open and available, all those good things, all the things that you are seeking and looking for in a relationship. And I know, some people have certain requirements and that other people's don't. But I feel like there are some cornerstones that are pretty basic that everyone should have. Like, hey, be honest, communication. Those are all pretty basic, basic things that everyone should be presenting, not just in a relationship, but even, in our friendships and with our family members and those kinds of things. Like, those are just the basics of, healthy relationship 101. And there may be other things that this new person may bring to the table that will be fabulous, but I don't think the old person, the toxic person from the past who ghosted you, they're not going to be happy about that. They're going to be like, oh shit. And that always happens. It's like when we move on with our lives and we get happy, whether that's with another person or something else, whatever it is, the bottom line is when you move on, when you're happy, when you're in a good place, it's like they have this special radar or something, and they're like, oh, they're happy. I need to interrupt that. I don't know what it is. It's stupid, but they do it. So even if they do it, this guy, he's obviously taking this girl out to a really fancy restaurant. They're having a fabulous time. She's enjoying herself. She's feeling herself. The third guy in the background, he's miserable because he's a dumbass, basically. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. Allow yourself to feel spoiled and loved and all the good things that you should feel in a good connection if someone comes along and gives that to you. You are my muse. You put the creative spark back into my art. So I feel like, not from the old person, but I feel like this new person who comes in, whoever this new person is who's coming in, the healthier person, I feel like the old person probably drained you a lot because of their toxic behavior. But this new person is going to wind up like reinflating your heart, basically, that they're going to put life back into you again. So it's like, if you felt dull, if you felt depleted, that you had no energy, that you were just like lackluster, that's all going to change. And this new person is literally going to put that spark of creativity back into you again. And you're going to start like sparkling and radiating and just glowing again because you're going to be happy and you're genuinely going to deserve it. So yeah, we have this girl who's in the recording studio. She's making music, and she's doing that because there is someone who has moved her so much so emotionally that it's brought her to that place of like, oh, it's like, I gotta write a song about this, like Taylor Swift level, um, but it doesn't have to be music, obviously. That's just the example in the card. But I would say just anywhere where you find creativity. It could be drawing, it could be music, it could be writing, it could be dancing, it could be a lot of different things. But I do feel like it's definitely going to bring that spark back into your life. It's going to bring life back into your being, is what it comes down to. But I feel like the only way that this person is going to come along to bring that kind of energy into your life is you have to say goodbye once and for all to this person, the person who is ghosting, the person who is toxic. If this is someone that you've given excuses to before in the past, you can't continue to give that person excuses. You have to kind of like face the truth of who they are and what they're up to and what they're doing, and really get to the place of like, hey, I deserve better than that. And you do, and there's proof of that because it's coming. Oh boy, finally reunited. Okay, this just took a twist. This just took a plot twist. Plot twist I was not expecting. Okay, so finally reunited. Okay, so when I see a card like that, especially in conjunction to this situation, I could see how being reunited with this person could happen. Obviously, if they evolved and they worked on themselves and they brought a new and better version of themselves to the table, it wouldn't make sense to be reunited with a new person, right? Because they're new. Like, that's just united. That's just freshly united. So there's a possibility. There's a possibility here that you seeing someone else and becoming like this vibrant, happier version of yourself. Because I feel like this is a soulmate here. Whoever this person is, it's like that's a soulmate right there. And I feel like you moving on might wind up motivating this person to actually drop their toxicity and do the internal work on themselves so they can bring you the person that you truly deserve to be reunited. So at first, like honestly, before we got this card, I was just straight up writing off this person as just like, they're probably a karmic lesson, right? They're probably a karmic lesson. But if there is this chance to be reunited with them, at least in a healthy way, where they are a healthy new version of themselves, this person could be the twin flame, but they could be competing with a soulmate. And I mean, a soulmate is a different type of relationship than a twin flame, but a soulmate isn't a bad relationship. Like, that's still a healthy, positive, good connection. So you may kind of find yourself in the future in the crosshairs of a love triangle, not knowing whether to choose the twin flame or the soulmate. This reading just got very, very interesting. All right, let's keep going here. We got more cards here. Let's see where this journey is going to take us. Thinking of reaching out to you. Again, that would be the ghosting person. Because the soulmate, this new person, they're going to have no problem doing that, right? But I feel like this twin flame person here, they could be ghosting you at first because, once again, it's easier than talking to you. Talking to you probably requires them opening up and being vulnerable and doing all the scary things that they don't like to do. But because of this, they may feel motivated to step up and reach out to you. Now, be mindful, this card does say thinking of reaching out to you. That doesn't mean that they actually are. That's not taking the action of it, but it may motivate them to the point where it's going to be actively on their mind, probably more so than it has been in the past. Tinkerbell, why'd you leave? Sorry, my dog Tinkerbell, she likes to sit underneath the desk as I do readings in her bed, and she just decided to walk away. Where are you going? You don't want to help me anymore? You want to go by your brother? Her brother's shadow is on the couch, so that's where she probably wants to go. You want to go to your brother? You can hang out with him if you want. Whatever you need to do. Okay. Anyways, life of a dog mom. My dogs always wind up being a part of the readings somehow because, they're kind of my life. All right, let's see. What else do we need to know? Fun adventures with you. Okay. So this could go either way. This could be. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about the yawn. I feel like this could go either way. This could either be the twin flame or it could be the soulmate. I feel like you guys are probably going to know more so better who this card is going to be about because you could have had a lot of fun times, a lot of fun memories with this twin flame that is understandably difficult to let go of. But at the same time, a soulmate could come along and could show you a good time and you could have a lot of fun adventures with them. So I'm just going to kind of leave this card up to you guys to interpret in terms of which person you feel like it's going to be about. It could even be a combination of both. I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be all about just the one or all the other. You could wind up having fun adventures with both of them. And that's, once again, another reason it makes it so hard to decide who you want to be with in the long run. Your friends are my friends are your friends. Once again, same kind of thing here. If you've had a history with this person, there's a chance possible that you guys could have a lot of mutual friends. And as for the soulmate, maybe they were born out of a friend group as well. That could always be possible. This could have been like a friend turned lover type of situation. So again, I feel like this card could be applicable to both as well, which again would make it hard to decide. And it could be two different friend groups. It doesn't have to be everyone in the same friend group. I feel like if anything, that would make it even more awkward. So hopefully it's not the same friend group. But I definitely feel like that could be applicable as well to either person. But it's definitely giving love triangle vibes, you being stuck between two connections. You are my best friend, my lover, and my lifelong partner. Okay. So with this card, I feel like this is ultimately your choice, is what it comes down to. And that's the funny thing, once again, about this deck is, the couple, like I said, it looks like the same couple in every card because it kind of is the same couple in every card. But, that's the thing. It's like whoever it is that you choose, it's like ideally this person would be your lover. They would, bring you passion like no one else. But they would also be your best friend and someone who would be your confidant, someone who would be there for you and with you through the ups and downs in life. And, you there for them as well as vice versa. Bottom line is, this is someone who's your lifelong partner, through all of that stuff. And you could honestly have those results with either of these situations. You could have it with a twin flame who does the work, mind you. If they're still doing their toxic bullshittery behavior, that's not a twin flame. That is a karmic connection. So either it's an evolved twin flame where there is that opportunity to be reunited, or it's a soulmate who brings in a genuine, healthy, vulnerable love. Either one of those people could probably bring you this, as long as, like I said, that twin flame has worked on themselves. So, here's the thing, is spirit is never going to tell you what you should do. We all have free will. Spirit is kind of giving you a guideline here as to, hey, this may be the scenario coming up that you may be faced with. This is a big decision that you may have to face. But no one can make that decision for you other than you. And you may have to take some time. You may have to take some time, in a sense, even away from each of these people, just to spend time for yourself, so you can kind of weigh your options and see what makes the most sense for you in your own mind and in your own heart. So yeah, you may have to do that, but I do feel like you will come to the conclusion that one of these two is going to be the one for you. So, like I said, no one else can make that decision for you but you may be faced with that at some point. And then we have summer love. Now, the summer love card basically gives me a timing arena on all of this. That all of this third party love triangle, soulmate versus twin flame kind of stuff, all of that may happen for you guys coming up this summer. I mean, it's May right now. Summer is literally right around the corner, so it wouldn't surprise me if this will be happening soon for you. So it's probably going to be a very active, very hot, very adventurous, and very interesting summer for the two of you. Or I mean, the three of you, the three of you really, for you and these two potential partners is what it comes down to. So, yeah, safe to say your love life will not be boring this summer, and you're going to have a lot of decisions to make. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting. So that's what I have for you guys, for what is coming up for you in regards to love. If the message didn't apply, let it fly. But if it did resonate, now you know why. And of course, drop me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. And also give this video a big thumbs up before you head on out of here, because it helps me a lot with the YouTube algorithm and just getting this video up and out there into the world so other people can see it as well. And yeah, so also, you guys, if I resonate with you as a reader, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because that way then you will be up to date. I keep yawning. Sorry about that. Up to date and in the know every time a brand new reading is posted, every time I go live, every time there's a brand new anything on anything, you guys will be the first in the know to know about it, basically. And if I really, really, really wind up resonating with you as a reader, I also invite you guys to check out my website, shadowandshine.com. You can get your own in-depth personal reading, because, once again, remember, these are collective readings here, so they are open for anyone who resonates with them. But, feel free to check out your own personal reading. And if you enjoy this deck and you like this deck and you would like to own this deck for yourself, once again, this is Love Story, and it is available also on shadowandshine.com. You can take home a copy of this for yourself. This deck, as well as many other decks that I have available over on my website. It doesn't matter whether you do readings for yourself, you do readings for friends, for clients of your own. It's a great deck for anyone's collection. So yeah, feel free to check that on out. And once again, you guys, I also invite you to join me over on Patreon. Patreon is such a wonderful place. We have weekly card pulls, daily card pulls. There's the Discord access, which is just bottom line an awesome community to connect with others and make friends and meet your soul tribe and all that good stuff. So, join me over on Patreon. I would love to have you over there. So that's basically that. So yeah, like I said, links to all that stuff, Patreon, shadowandshine.com, all my socials, all that good stuff is down there in the description box. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this on up for right now, but I want to thank you guys for hanging out here with me for a little bit today. It definitely warms my heart and it means the world to me. I am sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, pile 3. If you chose the mini rose quartz heart, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what is coming up for you in regards to love. All right, good stuff. Okay, so we are going to be looking at cards from my very own Oracle deck, Love Story, which you can find this deck on my website, shadowandshine.com. So if you like it, you can obviously own it for yourself. And basically, if you see a lot of the same couple over and over again on the cards, it's supposed to be like that. That's normal. Basically, through the deck, you are following one couple's love story. And the idea is to see the reflection of your own love story through their love story. So there we go. Let's get into it. Let's see what you guys need to know. All right, starting off, we have, is this a fairy tale or is this a nightmare? Oh boy. Okay. So, that tells me you guys may be in store for some tumultuous times up ahead down the road. There could be a lot of up and down and in and out. And, one time you could be feeling completely like this is ecstasy. This is the most wonderful connection I've ever been in. And then the next minute you can feel like you're absolutely drowning. And this person who can make you feel so elevated and lifted up can make you feel so miserable at the same time. But let's get a little bit more context. Let's see what else is going on here. Let's see what else comes through for our cards. Healing me is healing for you. Okay, this is good. This is a good thing. So if you guys do find yourself in a situation in the future where it feels very up and down and tumultuous and inside out, you got to find a way to survive. You got to find a way to stabilize yourself is what it comes down to. And the best way to do that is to honestly prioritize yourself. This is not being selfish. It is self-care. And sometimes you have to do that. You have to put yourself first. That means you got to ground yourself. You got to establish boundaries. You have to protect yourself. You have to communicate clearly what it is that you want out of a relationship. If someone can't respect that, obviously, they can't respect those boundaries, they can't communicate, they can't get along with you, then it may not be a connection worth entertaining, obviously. But, I feel like healing and taking care of yourself here is obviously of utmost importance and top priority, especially if you're dealing with this kind of chaotic energy. And if this is someone that you wind up connecting with and you really love them and you really care about them, like I understand, you may not necessarily just want to write it off because there may be a lot of good things about it. And maybe this is someone who also just needs to do some work on themselves as well. That could be very possible. Or the nightmare could be too much and you may wind up realizing that It's not worth a few seldom fairy tale moments in the middle of a consistent nightmare. So, it kind of just depends. You put me on an emotional roller coaster. So again, we have a lot of that up and down, inside out, tipsy turvy, chaotic energy happening here. This could be karmic energy. It could be twin flame energy. The only way to really know is to kind of like go within and ground yourself to figure out what that connection is to you. There's a reason I don't do twin flame confirmations for people, because I feel like it's very much so up to the individuals within that connection, because it is a sacred connection. I wouldn't want someone determining for me whether my connection is a twin flame connection or not, because I feel like, that's kind of my business. It's not really technically their business. And usually if I tell someone, oh yeah, they are your twin flame, something in them is going to go to the, kind of nightmare perspective here and doubt it. Or I could tell them, hey, that person isn't your twin flame, and they may wind up romanticizing it and fantasizing about the good aspects of it and doubt the fact that I told them that they're not a twin flame. So that's why I feel like it's up to you to determine what this connection is, but it's definitely an intense connection. There is karma within it regardless. I mean, you have karma within twin flames as well, but the difference is twin flames are a divine connection. Karmic connections are just straight up nasty. They're just a straight up no lesson is what it comes down to. So that's where it can get tricky. I will say this much. If there is any kind of abuse in the relationship, it doesn't matter if it's mental, physical, sexual, emotional, whatever it is. If there is abuse, if he's sending you to the hospital, especially, because I've had people come on lives and they're just like, I don't want to leave him. He hits me, but I love him. He sent me to the hospital, but I love him. No, that's not your twin flame. That's not divine. Divine love does not do that. There's a difference between karmic and needing to heal yourself and then that. So that is not a twin flame. That is karmic straight up is what it comes down to. So I will say this much. If there's abuse, it's a karmic connection. But once again, you're the only one who's going to be able to determine that. You're the only one who's ultimately going to be able to know that. But I do feel like you're either currently involved in kind of a chaotic situation or you're headed into one, which I hope you guys are not headed into one. What is going on back there? I have like 2 dogs that are running around behind me. It's very distracting when I'm trying to do readings. Kids these days. Okay. We have the lone wolf, the single life. Okay, so I do feel like all of this energy here with the up and the down and the in and the out and the chaos and confusion and the hot and the cold and not knowing if it's a good thing, not knowing if it's a bad thing, I do feel like it is going to lead you to be single for a period of time. That through your own healing process and through your own self-care, you may actually realize that all this stuff here with the confusion, that it's not worth it. Even if you love the person, you may realize, hey, this is not worth it. Like, this is detrimental towards my mental health and my emotional well-being. Chances are, if it's detrimental to yours, it's probably detrimental to theirs as well. And I feel like eventually hi, Shadow. Hi, why don't you lay down in the bed? Lay down in the bed, honey. Go on, lay down in the bed. There you go. He's like trying to jump up on the chair as I'm doing a reading. Yeah, just lay down. Lay down on the bed. You're fine. Tinkerbell, you can lay down too if you want. You guys, please lay down. I'm trying to do this reading. I can't stop. I'm already in the midst of it. Okay? Yeah, thank you. Just settle. Settle, please. I don't know why we're getting so crazy right now. Maybe the dogs want to do the reading for you. I don't know. But I feel like eventually you guys are going to choose that that you guys are going to choose to be single for a period of time. Now, remember, this doesn't mean that like this is just who you're going to be. You're forever going to be single. But I do feel like you are going to choose to opt out of this connection and this chaos, which is inevitably going to lead you to be single, at least for a period of time. Doesn't mean it's going to be a crazy ass long time, but it will probably be for a period of time. Avoidant attachment styles are a factor. So I feel like this is probably the reason why it's so much of a roller coaster, so much of this up and down stuff, because you guys are probably dealing with two different attachment styles. One of you may be anxious and one of you may be avoidant. And the anxious person will typically chase the avoidant person, and the avoidant person will run away, just as reflected on the card. And you will know most likely which person that you are within this connection. Either way, it's not a healthy connection. Unfortunately, avoidant attachment style and anxious attachment style people usually are drawn to one another like magnets. They usually are attracted to one another. But the goal here is to not be avoidant and to not be anxious. Apparently, there's also another one which is not talked about all that often, but there's also the disorganized attachment style, which is actually a combination of the both of these. It's like when you get involved in a relationship, you really latch on, but then all of a sudden you'll like pull back at the same time because, you know, you'll be terrified within the safety of your own connection. It's a messy attachment style to have, but you could have a disorganized attachment style, or they could, or you both could. But the goal here is to get to a place of having a secure attachment style. That's the healthy one, which I feel like you're working towards here, because once again, we do have that healing me is healing for you card. So, you know, that is key. But I do feel like we're getting a little bit more insight here as to where this chaos extends from, and it's probably attachment styles. And attachment styles are developed in our childhood. It's an extension of childhood trauma and wounding and the relationship that we have with our parents and all those kinds of things. It's an extension of all of that. So it does take quite a bit of healing and quite a bit of work, obviously, to navigate and to get through that. So I feel like, once again, that's why you're going to be healing yourself, why you're going to be taking care of yourself, and, letting go the need to be in something that is chaotic. The distance between us is torture. So I do feel like you putting down your foot and walking away from the chaos, working on yourself, choosing to be single, I do feel like it is going to be felt by the other person in the connection that they're probably not going to enjoy that distance. In a weird way, it may kind of make you seem like the avoidant person, although I don't feel like that's going to be avoidant. I feel like that's just you, establishing boundaries, protecting your inner peace, and taking care of yourself is the most important thing. It doesn't mean that you wish anything bad on the other person. It just means you're prioritizing yourself first, is what it comes down to. But I do feel like that is going to be felt, whether the other person says anything about that or not. But I do feel like they are going to feel that. Connected, body, mind, and soul. So this is interesting because the healing me is healing for you card. It does reference the fact that by working on yourself and healing yourself, that it's kind of this natural ricochet reaction. It's like the domino effect, where it's like you work on yourself and eventually the dominoes are going to fall, and they're going to fall to this person. And, next thing you know, this person is going to be working on themselves too. So this tells me that this is definitely a strong soul connection there's probably a soul contract here at play. It's definitely giving twin flame kind of vibes, because if you're healing yourself and they decide to step up and start healing themselves too, because you are connected body, mind, and soul. If you notice, there is a heart behind the two hands that are embraced here, and we got the flames. It's definitely like giving a twin flame thing. And that's usually how it goes. Usually one person in the connection has to start the healing journey and make that brave decision to, in a sense, kind of step away and step back from the connection, hence the single life card. And that's what usually will propel the other person to start working on themselves too, even if they don't realize that it's their twin flame, that person who has kind of sparked that within them. They may not even be talking, meaning you guys may not even be talking. You could be in complete and total separation, but it could trigger, just from the energy, it can trigger your person to start dealing that healing, whether they realize it or not. Let's run away together where no one will find us. So I feel like with this card coming through, I kind of get the feeling this is more so the energy of your person, not necessarily you, because, think about it. You're doing the grounding and healing work. You are working on yourself. So when you're grounding yourself like that, you're not going to be flighty. You're not going to be ready to just take off. I feel like even if this person does decide to start doing the healing work, I'm not saying that they won't do it, and I'm not saying that they won't improve and that they won't come around and get better. I do feel like it may take them some time, though, because I feel like they may have a more flighty tendency. I feel like they may have a more more of an unpredictability factor to them, more impulsive, that they could have this impulsive side to them where it's like, they just want to like swoop you up in their arms, sweep you off your feet, and like just run away together. It's like eloping is like their solution to the answer or something, which I feel like in some ways you're very magnetically drawn to that, because it is very passionate and it is very romantic. But at the same time, there's this other part of you that's going to be working on yourself. It's like, that's tapping into the fairy tale. And even if we act impulsively on this moment right now, if we're just doing this out of impulse and not because we're truly ready, not because we truly haven't done the work and all these other kind of things, this impulsive fairy tale gesture is going to turn into a nightmare eventually. And I feel like you've woken up to that, and that you realize that, and you don't want that anymore. It's like, yeah, you would love to have that fairy tale, but you want a fairy tale that is going to have a solid foundation and substance to it, not one that's just like all up in the clouds, is what it comes down to. So I feel like your person has this impulsive behavior. I feel like their intentions are good behind it, but it doesn't have a lot of forethought beyond that point, is what it comes down to. What are you two doing? Why are you just like I don't know what these two are doing. These dogs are driving me crazy. I'm sorry if I'm a little distracted. These dogs are just being weird right now. Just not that into you. And this is why I'm saying, like, I feel like your person, it's that whole hot and cold thing. It's the whole up and down thing. And this literally just came through in the cards, because it's like 1 minute they're like, let's run away together. Here's our fairy tale, our happily ever after. And then the next minute, it's like the nightmare comes out, and it's like, oh, never mind. I really don't want this now. I'm just not that into you. So see what I'm saying? It's very hot and cold. It's like they want you, but then it's like once they get a little bit too close, they're afraid they're going to burn themselves or something, and they pull back. Like that avoidant eventually comes through. So that's why I'm saying even your person may have some disorganized attachment, where it's like, they have that anxious part of them, which is like, let's run away together. And then next thing you know, they snap to the other side, and then they're like, no, never mind, I'm going to be avoidant about this, and run away. So, I feel like your person needs a lot of work, is what it comes down to. I'm not saying your person is a bad person. Everyone is broken. I don't know a single person who's not broken. So I'm definitely not saying that your person is a bad person, but I am saying I feel like there's someone who needs to do a lot of work on themselves, that they need to do a lot of healing. I feel like you definitely are, though, because this card here, the second card that came through, is highly indicative of that. Like, you guys are definitely doing the healing work on yourself. And because of that, you guys are going to be okay no matter what, whether you choose to stay single, whether you move on with somebody else. You guys are going to be okay. Your person, I feel like they have these opportunities to heal and to get better, obviously, because you guys are connected. But I feel like it may take a little bit more time on their end, and it's going to take a little bit more work, that you're further ahead in this journey than they are. And I feel like you're probably further ahead by a pretty significant lead. I can be alone with you, even with no words spoken, so much is said. So I feel like this is more so the kind of energy that you guys need to be tapping into. We have this very impulsive energy, we have this avoidant energy, but this one is more of like the peaceful, at rest relationship kind of energy, because this is the kind of energy where it's like you can be sitting in a room with someone and you can be spending time together, but you can kind of also like be apart and be doing your own thing, but you don't feel the pressure to have to create a conversation or do something. It's like you guys can just exist comfortably with one another, and it's not awkward and it's not weird. And it's a very peaceful energy. So I do feel like that peaceful energy of resolution is available to you guys, that this can happen, but it's going to take some work. It's going to take some work is what it comes down to. It's going to take balancing a lot of avoidant and anxious type of energies out, and having that grounding and having that foundation, so that way then you can get off the roller coaster. It doesn't have to be all or nothing, and it can just be stable. This is definitely a connection where you guys are going to be working on finding a lot of stability coming up in the future. And if this person truly is your twin flame, if there truly is that bond and you love them, then chances are you'll probably work through it. Regardless whether you choose to be with them in the end or not, you're going to be okay, because you're going to be healed and you're going to be fine. And that's the thing that matters the most. So anyways, that's what I see happening for you guys, and kind of what's coming up on deck for you in regards to love. If the message did not fly, or if it did not apply, just let it fly. But if it did resonate, now you know why. And of course, drop me a comment in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. And also, you guys, as we wrap this up, I would just ask you, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, because that helps me out a lot right here on the good old YouTube algorithm. And also subscribe and hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time a brand new reading goes up and gets posted, every time I'm live, every time there's a brand new anything about anything. You guys will be the first in the know about it, is what it comes down to. Also, if I really, really, really wind up resonating with you as a reader, I do have private readings open and available. I have personal readings. It's important to remember with pick a cards like these that these are open to the collective. So if you want something that's more specific and narrowed in and specific just for you, a personal reading is definitely the place to go, what to do when it comes down to that. So feel free to check that out at shadowandshine.com. Also, if you enjoyed this deck and you are interested in this deck, once again, this is Love Story, and I have this deck as well as other ones available on my website. So you can pick that up and claim it for yourself and use it at home for your own readings. So yeah, and once again, you guys, I want to invite you to join me over on Patreon. Patreon is such a fun community. We have daily card pulls, we have weekly card pulls, and everything in between. We have, what else do we have going on over there? We have the Discord community, and it's a great place where people can simply make friends, connect with others, find their soul tribe. It's just a good place. It's a fun place to hang out. And like I said, I would love to have you guys over there. So feel free to join me over on Patreon as well. So, links to Patreon, my website, socials, all that good stuff, once again, is all in the description box down below. Otherwise, I want to thank you guys for hanging out here with me today. I enjoyed spending time with you right now, and I will definitely see you in the next one. So I am sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling. Hi, Pile 4. If you chose this light lavender aura quartz kind of, I think that's what it is at least, heart, then this is going to be the reading for you to find out what is coming up in love for you. What is on deck? We're going to see. We're going to find out. So the cards I'm going to be using today are from Love Story, as I said. And Love Story is one of my own personal oracle decks that I created. You can find it on shadowandshine.com if you like this deck and you want to own it for yourself. That's where you can find it. And it is a love deck. It is all romance and all of that wonderful stuff. And the fun and unique thing about this deck is it basically follows the story of one couple. Like there's one couple who is pretty much through the entire deck. And it's not like a whole bunch of different couples. It's just one. But the thing is, you're basically following their love story. And through their love story, you can find reflections of what's happening in your own love story. So that's kind of the whole point of it. Anyways, let's see what is coming through for you guys in regards to love, what's coming up in the future, what we need to know. You are my true love. Well, that's beautiful. We love that. What a happy way to start, to begin this pile. So if you don't currently already have true love in your life, I feel like that this is an indication that true love is coming. And if true love is already there, then, I feel like it's just a continuation on of your amazing and wonderful connection. So we love that. That's definitely awesome. The heart wants what it wants, and it wants you. Interesting. So we kind of have a little bit of a twist here. We have this girl who is holding on to a picture frame of her and a guy, presumably her boyfriend or her ex-boyfriend or whatever. And, she's holding on to it. She looks very forlorn. She looks very longingly. She looks upset is what it comes down to. Almost as if, like, this relationship is no longer what it was. Which is interesting because I don't feel like Spirit would just be like, oh yeah, here, have some true love. And now it's like, it's gone and you're just like holding on to the memories of it. So we're gonna put this card down next to the true love card. and we're gonna, see what else is coming through so we can make better sense as to what this all means when it is connected together. Okay, all right, I see. I seek the attention of others because it's easier than diving in deep with you. Okay. So I feel like you could be dealing with someone who is a bit of a player. Um, Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that he's cheating. Um, but what it could mean is this could be someone who easily attracts attention from the opposite sex and then simply doesn't turn it down. Not that he cheats, but he plays into it though. He definitely plays into it. He enjoys that attention is the thing. It's very Gemini and energy in a sense. No offense to my Gemini people out there. I know not all Geminis are like that, but it is kind of a thing for them. So yeah, but I definitely feel like that could be a part of the issue here that is going on. Now, this person could be your true love, or this person could be someone that you need to get out of your system in order to lead you to your true love. So we got to keep going here with the cards to kind of see what the story is here that's playing out, what's playing through. Committed to you for all time. So that's interesting. It's definitely a conflicting energy. So I feel like the person that you most likely miss, the heart wants what it wants, is probably this person who is seeking the attention of others. Now, this could be cheating. It doesn't necessarily have to be cheating, though. It could be just, like I said, someone who enjoys the attention that they get from the opposite sex. But I feel like the person who is your true love is the person that you are ultimately committed to. I feel like the question is that this person still, or is this someone else? And this could be some stuff, some themes that could be actively playing out right now, not just in the future, but this could be kind of tapping into present, moving into future energies. If you only knew what I truly feel, if you only knew how I truly feel, what I keep hidden. Okay. This definitely gives me a little bit more context. So this card specifically, it definitely kind of flushes things out here a bit. So obviously we have this guy here who looks very anguished. He looks very much in pain and agony because he's bottling a lot of stuff in. He's got a lot of emotions. He has a lot of thoughts. He has a lot of feelings. And I feel like he's suppressing. He's suppressing these things. He's pushing them down. And the interesting thing about the I seek attention from others card is it also says there, it's easier than diving in deep with you. Now, obviously, diving in deep with you would require revealing what is most likely hidden. And whatever is hidden, whatever this guy is burying, whether it's how he truly feels about you or things maybe that he's been through in the past, certain traumas, maybe toxic relationships, whatever it is, it's maybe like really impacted him and how he's able to function in relationships and that kind of thing. I definitely feel like this is about him, that he has issues opening up and being vulnerable and showing you the pain that he's probably really feeling. He probably would rather come across as a strong, fun guy, as like the guy who can get all this attention because, realistically, if he's getting all this attention, it's in a shallow way. It's not because he's saying anything profoundly deep or, doing anything that is super life changing or anything like that. It's very shallow. It's very superficial. So I feel like he's comfortable in that. He's comfortable in the shallow. He's comfortable in the superficial. But he's uncomfortable in the depths. And the fact that he has difficulty communicating that and expressing that, it's like he's uncomfortable almost within his own skin. So it's like if he's uncomfortable with his own skin, how is he going to express that to you? Is what it comes down to. And then things wind up going awry between the two of you, and you wind up feeling this way about him. Like you want him, you don't understand why he's like this with you. Because you can probably sense this part of him. You can probably sense this deeper level in him. You know that it's there. You can feel it. You see it in him. Anyone else in this type of situation where, they're just like on that superficial level, they probably don't see that in him, but you do, which makes it really hard to let go, obviously, because of that connection is what it comes down to. So, I do feel like this is that the true love here could ultimately be the same person. Again, this is someone who needs to work on some stuff. I know the attention-seeking card doesn't necessarily make sense with the committed to you card, but I feel like in their heart, it could be there. Just like with this, the heart wants what it wants, and it wants you. That's like your heart being committed to them, even through all this. Let's spend the holidays together. Okay, so we're starting to get a little bit of a turning point here. I feel like if there is a reunion here between the two of you, it's not going to happen until around the holidays, because we are getting a time frame here at least. And we're getting the holidays. So things may kind of be rough and bumpy, for like the course of the next 6 months. It's May right now when I'm posting this. If we're looking at the holidays, we may not be looking until like, I would say like the earliest November, going into December. So we could be looking at 6 months of, kind of choppy waters here. But I feel like there is a chance for things to resolve and for the two of you to become reunited again by the holidays. Running away is how I cope. I told you guys, this is someone who's comfortable in the superficial, someone who's comfortable in the shallow. And when things get deep, they take off, they run away, is what it comes down to. I feel like the only way that this reunion over the holidays is realistically going to happen, at least in a healthy way, not in a way where it's like, oh, we're back together and we're just going to repeat the same cycle again. I feel like the only way that this is going to happen, at least in a healthy manner, is if this person, starts to get a little bit more comfortable with their own uncomfortable feelings and get comfortable with communicating that and expressing those deeper levels of themselves. I feel like that's the only way that's going to happen, or they're going to continue doing this, which you obviously do not want. So yeah, that's kind of where I take that. Staying away is my way of protecting you. So once again, that running away kind of mode. So it's just like, even if you see this person, out clubbing and partying with other girls and this, that, and the other kind of thing, I don't feel like, he is, I don't feel like he's deciding to date them. I definitely don't feel like he's deciding to like be committed to them or anything like that. Like, he's not jumping into relationships with these girls. I'm not going to lie. He could be having like one night stands and that kind of thing, but he's definitely not getting to a place of commitment with them, because if he becomes committed to them, then once again, he's going to have to go to those deeper levels that he's not comfortable with. And he won't even do that with you, let alone them. So he's going to keep it shallow. It's like once he has slept with them, it's like they probably never speak to each other ever again, is what it comes down to. but you're always in the back of his mind, and he definitely, he avoids you because he has these emotions he wants to communicate, but he's scared. He's scared is what it comes down to. And I feel like you would be able to handle whatever it is that he has to say, but he doesn't realize that. He takes it as needing to protect you. He's not giving you enough credit there for how strong you are, is what it comes down to. Wow, let's create a family together. Wow. So, I mean, at some point here, I mean, I feel like this is definitely either after the holidays, or it could happen during the holidays. Like, you guys could reunite, and, who knows? Like, during the holidays, you may wind up making a baby and, like, literally create a family together. You might wind up becoming pregnant. Um, so yeah, that's definitely a possibility. But once again, like, that's a beautiful thing to have happen. Like, reuniting over the holidays is beautiful. Getting pregnant and having a baby is beautiful. But I feel like if that's going to happen, you need to get to that place where it's like he is ready to completely express these things to you. And I feel like if he gets to that place where he's able to do that, he's not going to be interested in doing this anymore. Like, this is going to give him no value anymore. Like, that even won't even be a part of his persona, his existence. He won't be running away anymore because there's going to be no reason to. So I feel like, if you guys do come back together come the holiday season, just make sure that this is really in, like, a healthy and solid, good communicative place and everything, especially if you guys are going to wind up bringing another life into the situation. And finally, we have PDA. I don't care. I want the whole world to know how much I love you. So, maybe that's the whole point at the end of this. I mean, obviously, the first card that we had here was "You are my true love." And it seems like this person really and truly is your true love. Now, you have some ups and downs to get through here. Obviously, there are some scrapes and bumps and bruises to get through. No relationship is perfect. No relationship is flawless. That's understandable. But I do feel like, this is on him. It's on him to get to this point where he's going to be ready to express these things and to really work through it. I feel like if he does, I almost kind of feel like in the past, maybe he wasn't very, like, PDA heavy, and maybe he would kind of keep that hidden. Maybe he would be embarrassed by it, not embarrassed by you, but just, like, embarrassed by expressing true love in front of others. It takes a level of vulnerability in a sense. Maybe he was embarrassed by it. Maybe he was more stoic about it in a sense. That doesn't mean that he didn't love you, but maybe that's just where he was at before. But maybe after this evolution and transformation within himself, which I feel like, once again, it's going to take the next 6 months. So do I expect this to happen for you guys, like, over the summer or during the fall? Probably not. But it will probably come together for you guys around the holidays. And when it does, I feel like, he's going to undergo this transformation, basically. And in that transformation, he's going to go from maybe being more stoic and held back with his emotions, even publicly, to being willingly to display them on fire, because he's going to be so proud to be with you. And I feel like more proud to just simply be more authentic and transparent with his emotions as a whole. I mean, you guys got to remember, when it comes down to guys, period, they're raised from the moment they're popped out of the womb, basically. Don't show emotions. That's being weak. that's a woman thing or whatever. And that's something that men are still struggling with to this day in terms of deconstructing from that and getting comfortable with the fact that it's okay to embrace our emotions. It's okay to express them. It's okay to cry. It's okay to do all those things. And I'm not saying that's all men, obviously, because there are men that are very healthy and very comfortable with their emotions and very evolved. But there's also a huge chunk of them that are not. And that's all kind of tied into the patriarchy and something that we all collectively, it doesn't matter who you are, man or woman, are kind of deconstructing from. So he could be kind of dealing with a lot of that stuff right now himself. But yeah, so once again, like I said, he's just going to need to get comfortable with expressing this part of himself, what's going on the inside of him. When he does that, he's not going to be running away anymore. He's not going to be attention seeking from others. He's going to be really ready to embrace that true love relationship with you. You can anticipate that to really start to unfold around the holidays. And who knows, a baby may even come out of it, which is exciting. But that's basically what I have for you guys. That's what's going on. That's what's coming up for you in love. And hopefully that assists you, gives you a little bit of guidance, gives you a little bit of heads up over the next few months. Of course, if this message did not apply, just let it fly. But if it did resonate, you will know exactly why. And as I wrap things up here with you guys today, I would just ask you to drop me a comment down below, number one, and feel free to say hi, like I said. Also, please feel free to give this video a big thumbs up because that helps me out a lot right here on the good old YouTube algorithm. And subscribe, hit that notification bell. By doing that, you will be up to date and in the know every time a brand new reading is up and posted. And also anytime I wind up going live, anytime there's a brand new update on anything pretty much. And if I really, really, really wind up resonating with you as a reader, head on over to my website, shadowandshine.com. You can order your own personal reading over there. So personal readings are available there. Once again, you guys, these are, the pick of cards. They are open for the collective. So, it's tapping into a whole bunch of people's energies. But anything that is a personal reading is, strictly your situation, what you need to know dealing with you is what it comes down to. And, of course, whatever areas of life you're curious to know about. So yeah, personal readings are available over on my website. And if you enjoyed this deck, once again, this deck is Love Story, and you can find Love Story also on my website, as well as many other oracle decks that I have created. And you can take this deck home and have it for yourself, which is always a fun thing as well. Finally, you guys, I invite you to hang out with me over on Patreon. Feel free to join me over there. It is such a great community. Like I said, there's daily card pulls, weekly card pulls. There's the Discord server with the community that's on there. And, that's just a great place for meeting people and making friends and connecting, finding your soul tribe. If you're on like the twin flame journey or anything like that, it's a great place to connect with others and, simply have the support and encouragement that you might need going on a journey like that, because it's definitely not for the faint of heart. And I don't feel anyone should have to face that journey alone either. So yeah, feel free to join me over there on Patreon. I would love to have you join, even if it's just a free membership. That's totally cool too. People gotta do what they gotta do, right? So yeah, Patreon, my website, shadowandshine.com, all of my other socials, all that 411, everything you need to know. Links are all down below in the description box, so feel free to check that out if you feel inclined to do so. Otherwise, that's basically what I have for you guys here today. I appreciate you so incredibly much, and I'm so incredibly thankful that you decided to spend a little bit of time here with me today in this little corner of the internet. It definitely means the world to me. I am sending you guys lots of hugs and much love. Keep sparkling.